That's fucked up, Jeremy.
Is it fucked up? I don't know.
I'd be
Well, wait,
pissed.
what kind of cars are these?
What does
Toyotas.
that matter?
Toyotas? Okay, if they're like luxury vehicles, I'd be like rip away. I'd be like rip away. Like enjoy your Lexus.
Oh yeah. Hey, looks like we're live. So hey guys, welcome back.
Oh shit.
To the Not Important Gaming Podcast.
Oh, yikes.
Flapjack, already in the chat. What's up, guys? Hey, Flapjack. We're
Absolute legends.
absolute mad lad, dude. Love this guy. Welcome back to the Not Important Gaming Podcast with with Jeremy, Reed, and Matt. And today we have we've got a special guest and friend of the show.
John Adair.
Yeah.
Hello, how's it going?
What is your online handle, John?
Yeah.
What do you go by?
My online handle? I just have Instagram. It's Kaleidoscope 8 eyes, the number 8.
What do you use for gaming, for multiplayer gaming?
Oh,
How do you? What is that name that people see when you just completely dominate them?
I don't even. Oh, Tardy Hardy. I have a thing for tardigrades. I think they're so badass, and so my gamer tag on my Nintendo Switch is Tardy Hardy.
Something tells me that's not what most people are getting out of that when
I know, I'm sure they're not, but I don't know. It just came to me. It was one of those moments where I was just.
It's definitely
know,
the most
fly.
PC name I've heard.
Anyway,
what kind of
Speaking of names, NIG podcast. Explain.
Well, it's an acronym.
It's NIG.
Yeah, it's NIG.
Well, I mean, that's
Very
that's
big
not
difference.
That's not what I see when I look at it. That's the problem.
No, that's totally
Well, you're
fair.
pronouncing the vowel wrong. It's not
Yeah.
it's I.
It's NIG, short for Not Important Gaming. It's funny that you say that because I've been I just started up school again this week, and I've been like, I've been making a handful of friends like, oh hey, you should check out my podcast. And they're like, oh yeah, bet. And they pull out the phone and I give them the link and they open it and they go, oh, all right.
Oh.
It's not what you think.
Maybe
Well,
you
I
guys
think,
could explain it to me because I don't understand how it's like a weird thing. Maybe you guys could explain it to me.
It's
John,
just
do you want to explain?
the shortening of it. I don't know. It's just
Don't get
because
us
there's
banned.
no there's no punctuation marks in between the letters.
Oh,
I just
trust
read
me.
it all as like
I
a
tried.
shortening of
Trust me,
another word.
I
Well,
tried.
there's a capital
but,
P after the G.
That was my only thing that I could do, like to add that was the capital P to try and like please
Save it.
Please understand that that's an abbreviation when you're reading this.
Did we try to see is NIGP is like NIG pod?
See, that's not any better though.
That's a little
like
bit
it.
better.
I like it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
Alright,
personally.
we're gonna look right
we'll
now.
We'll check later on.
But the real history is like every time we tried to shill our podcast, it would be Not Important Gaming Podcast, and I counted it. It's like 32 letters long or something like that, and it's like asking people to type that into the computer is just a death sentence for sharing your shit. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
John, you're a photographer. Like trying to share your stuff, how difficult that can be.
Yeah. You gotta find some way to make it relatable and, more importantly, easily accessible.
The letter I, the vowel, can be pronounced like more than 3 ways. So people just,
I prefer
automatically going to that.
I prefer that when people say it, they like spell it out. Honestly, it's just like. They like look at it. They're like NIG podcast. I'm like, it's NIG actually.
Yeah. Well, and like that's one of the things I was getting at is just because it's faster, and that's getting back to Reed's point is there's a certain point where you just want to shorten it because it just gets too wordy.
Right.
Yeah. I did just double check, and NIG Pod is taken on Twitch, so we couldn't have even taken that. This is the most concise name we've taken.
Oh. It's what you got.
Yeah, we're gonna try to find a different solution. But
now I have a question for you, John, because I know you a little bit. You're my roommate.
Yes.
We moved to Oregon together. What kind of a gamer are you? Like,
Oh God. since starting school, I'm a filthy casual.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. I play when I have some free time between homework, and I usually only have time to like really concentrate
Mhm.
on one game at a time. So lately, it's been what was it, Rocket League. That's been a new
Which you've
favorite.
been getting really good at.
No, I'm not.
Compared to me,
I'm
you're like a god.
fucking awful. No, and then I was playing Borderlands 3, which was really fun, but it just kind of fell off once school
Mhm.
started, so I never got to finish it. I'd like to
Yeah.
go back and do that though.
But you have a pretty big history as a gamer. I mean, like you've had a lot of like mainstays, played a lot of games all the way up for forever. Like you're
Mhm.
big into like PC gaming back in the day, right?
Yeah, I built my PC to play games on it initially. That was like 2012, and I
Mhm.
have not really played that many games on the PC. So it's mostly just been console stuff, PS4, PS3, a little bit of Xbox, and then
Mhm.
now get my Switch.
So a lot of the
So
PlayStation exclusives like Spider-Man, God of War, that sort of stuff.
God of War, yes, loved God of War. Never got to Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right,
I
because
was
we
too
hogged
busy.
it all the time.
Yeah, you guys were hogging it. In our house, we had 3 people simultaneously playing Spider-Man, and while they were doing that, I took the opportunity to play God of War while they were all distracted.
Mhm.
uh,
Cool.
it was, yeah,
Well, hey,
super cool.
we got some topics covered today. Our two big topics that we're going to be talking about today are the potential return of the long-awaited KotOR remake, uh,
Yes.
and we're also going to be talking about some leaks that have come out regarding the new Xbox. Uh,
Mhm.
but before we get into some of those big topics, let's hit some of our smaller stuff. Let's start off with talking about this one from Subset Games. We're putting the FTL achievements on Steam only 7 years after release. They're partly visible for players while we test, but not yet achievable. We'll be releasing the update later this week. Let me throw this up on screen for you here, guys. Sorry, John, I'm gonna have to take you away for a bit.
That's all right. I mean, not that important.
There we go. Um, And yeah, this is actually from the Twitter for Subset Games, where they posted this, and people are already like going nuts about it. I'd pay for another content DLC, by the way. Don't forget to release FTL2 since you're there. Yes, this is all pretty exciting. How are you guys feeling about this?
I love FTL. Has anybody else here played FTL?
I've played FTL, yes.
No.
Dude, FTL is such a great game. It's a perfect sort of like super casual indie game. You can hop into. It's sort of like a roguelike, um, like strategy game is the best way I could put it. I threw in
Okay.
a trailer of the gameplay, or like of a gameplay trailer for one of the free updates
Uh,
that they released. And
yeah,
the
it's usually
basic premise is that your ship is trying to get from point A to point B. You have branching path, and along that path, you'll have random encounters that give you access to better weapons and gear and stuff. You fight harder and harder at enemies until at the end you fight the boss, who's this big badass ship, and you have to try to beat him. And it's really difficult and really challenging. It was kind of like almost like Dark Souls in the way that it
Oh God,
you bash your head against it 1,000 times until you finally won.
I fucking hate when people do that now, though. I swear to
It's
God,
the Dark Souls
it's the
of
Dark Souls of blah
spaceship
blah
dungeon
blah.
crawling roguelikes.
Dark Souls set a new bar.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to go see Joker. I hear it's the Dark Souls of movies.
Doesn't make
Just so
sense.
brutal.
Oh, did you add a YouTube link for this as well, Reed?
I did. It's in the podcast, doobly doo.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's
So we
see.
can just, I mean, you just see what the gameplay looks like.
Oh, fair enough. I'll kill the audio then, so that you can hear what's going on while we're talking about it.
Hmm.
There we go.
But I think most of the discussion that I've seen come out of this is mostly just people like remembering this game, how much they loved it, and then now that their achievements out, it basically gives them a reason to go back and play it, which I highly recommend. It's got so much replay value.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this. We were on last week. We were on the Idiosyncratic podcast, and this game came up. I remember Reed was very excited to talk about it.
I love this game. It's so good.
It's a good game, but I was one of the things that I mentioned was that the thing that like got me to actually like play this game was Yahtzee's poem that he wrote about it.
What was the poem?
I don't remember the whole thing. It's a pretty long poem, but he goes he keeps coming back to the same phrase at the end of every at the end of every like section. He'd be like, "Yes, we remember. You do not accept surrender." No, if you guys have the time, you should definitely check that out. But also, if you haven't played FTL, I would highly recommend playing it. It's a very, very, very good game.
I remember Nosh tweeted about it way back when. This is back when Minecraft was just getting started, and he basically said that it's like Star Trek if it was like a video game, because there's like you can board other people's ships and blow them up from the inside and like, do all sorts of crazy stuff. There's a lot of strategy and thought that goes into it. Really, it doesn't look like much, but there's a lot of depth and complexity into it that really makes it fun. If you haven't picked it up, pick it up.
Anyway,
Do it.
that's all well and good, but we need to get moving on. Next item, blah blah blah. Next item on the agenda, for the first time ever, an R-Wing from Star Fox 64 has been spawned in Vanilla Ocarina of Time. No Game Shark or other cheat device used.
So apparently, this is one of the original assets in the game. You should definitely pull up the footage.
Yep,
but
I'm
basically
working on that right now. Oh, that's loud. Yeah, I've got to pull it up. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of one of those things that seems pretty neat. One of those things that we've kind of have known has been there, but we just haven't really dug it up yet. But
yeah, it certainly
basically speaks for itself. The fact that it's like an actual entity that you can work with in a game, I think it was probably for testing purposes. So
that would make
That's
sense.
crazy,
I mean,
oh
it could also easily just be kind of similar to what was that game? It was like that kind of janky survival game. And I remember everybody was like, it didn't do super well, but they ended up making like the first one. The first one they made was like kind of like the standard like primitive man build, blah blah blah, whatever. And then the next one they were gonna release, or the next one they did release was the pirate one. And people found out that they had all of the assets from the original game in it, and then they found out they had in that same game they had a bunch of assets for like future games they were gonna make, including a modern based one. So people were spawning like F-16s and doing strafing runs on pirate ships.
I just think it's funny just watching him just get shot up by an R-Wing. Then the
Yeah,
fact that when you
seriously,
hit it with the boomerang, it actually has the whole crash animation and everything.
they're like swarming around him like bees. That's crazy. Wow, that'd be a
How much you
great
want to bet
combo.
that they were just like having a slow day at the office and then like
Oh
bosses
yeah,
away? Let's put R-Wings into the fucking Ocarina of Time.
100%.
Yeah,
We got
that's pretty cool though. I didn't even know this was a possible thing up until right this minute. So
I mean, they all basically ran on the same engine with the same coding, so it's not that surprising.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I got a link in the chat, Jeremy. I think it's very interesting. I just read the entire thing as is without hitting any buttons, and I thought it really communicated a lot.
Yeah, let's have a look. This is from Flapjack saying, by the way, I found a link with all the games coming out for PS5, and it had a couple of surprises. I don't know if you guys know about these games. Oh, I remember you actually you sent this in the to the Twitter, and I meant to throw this on the list. So that's actually my bad. So I apologize.
That's okay. Flapjack is here to hold us up.
But yeah, he posted this list here. Let's have a look at some of the games that are at the very least speculated to come out for the PS5. We got this.
I mean, for me, as the link says, is ein Ninja in
It's
and console generate 2020.
as you can see.
So, I mean, it says everything that you need to know right there.
It is in Dutch. Thanks to Google Translate, we can at least read a close to English version of what it says.
Yeah, close.
I mean, all you need to know is
right
just like to
there.
look at the actual games themselves.
Yep, so it looks like the confirmed games. We've got Godfall, which I don't really know what it is or why they're making it. They're gonna.
Well, we had the trailer. I mean, it basically looked like
I
yeah.
barely would consider that a trailer. It was a trailer for the logo.
It was a cinematic. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it looks okay, cool. Giant dudes with swords and armor. That's all you need to know.
We got a game for Blue Point, which we haven't really gotten a whole lot of information about yet. But next up, we also had a new Gran Turismo.
They made Shadow of the Colossus, and
they made the remake of Shadow.
Uncharted?
They made the remake of Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, they made the remake. Oh, they did a lot of
Yep.
Oh, they're like an adaptation studio. Oh, they did make Gravity Rush. That was a game.
Flapjack says the text doesn't matter. Text says they're probably gonna release with the PS5 release or close with the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Next one is a new Gran Turismo game. Lord of the Rings Gollum, which I'm curious because I hadn't even heard about this.
Interesting.
How will they butcher Lord of the Rings even this time?
Do you not like the Shadow of War games?
I think they're awesome. I mean, I'm only sensitive to it because one of my roommates, not John, is an absolute Lord of the Rings buff and knows everything about the lore.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine where this will go. Yeah.
Right, next one is Watch Dogs Legion, which is speculated to come out between April 2020 and March 2021.
Mm-hmm. I just want to wear a pig mask.
Gods and Monsters. Oh, hold on. I think I got Gods and Monsters and the other one mixed up. Yeah, okay. So the other was Godfall. That's right. I got Gods and Monsters and Godfall mixed up because Gods and Monsters was the one that I was confused as to why it was even in exist. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen this.
There was the reveal trailer during the Ubisoft.
Oh, that's right. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you skipped out on half of E3, Reed.
I was sick. Too much sun.
Sick
in Oregon.
Excuses.
Flapjack does say the games. I'm assuming he's referring to Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings games aren't canon. Are they not? I guess that makes sense because there are things that kind of, like, you know, they contradict.
I mean, the only person who can really determine canon is dead. So,
just recently his son died as well.
Oh well.
Oh.
Yep.
That's way to bring the mood down, Jeremy. All right, let's move on. Next one.
Next one is Rainbow Six Quarantine, which this one I am excited about. I think this one looks really cool.
So is this just going to be like Rainbow Six Siege?
No. So there was an event for Rainbow Six Siege. Flapjack asked, the new Rainbow Six going to be a new game or just an event? It's a new game. So there was an event. It was either last Halloween or the Halloween before. I don't remember off the top of my head. That was kind of this like Left 4 Dead style zombies mode. And it was really cool. You would go from like point A to point B. You'd have to like complete objectives. And they had these like cool kind of like unique twist on, not super unique twist on zombies, but it was interesting. But what was really cool was it did a good job of fleshing out a lot of the Rainbow Six operators. You hadn't gotten a chance to, like, you know, get a real feel for their personalities, because all they say in the game is reloading, spotted him there.
I've been shot in the dick.
Yeah, so it was cool hearing them like kind of talk and discuss with each other, and like certain guys would like joke around, other guys were more like serious. So to see this kind of like more like co-op focused mode was really cool, and it did so well that people were like please make this into a full-fledged game.
But will this be like just like a Left 4 Dead ripoff or what?
A little, I think a little
or
bit.
Call of Duty Zombies ripoff.
The biggest thing, it's definitely not going to be a Call of Duty Zombies ripoff.
I like both of those things. Why can't they just like mash them together?
I'd imagine they're adding a lot of new features to try and like give it its own identity.
Will it have a campaign?
The problem is that all we have is one cinematic trailer that's about a minute long, so we just don't have a lot of information.
Okay.
So I really can't speak as far as that.
But hey, they did good with the last game, so if they continue to do that, then good for them.
Yeah. Next one, speculation is that Starfield. I think this is the same assumption. The Starfield.
I feel like that's a pretty big assumption that that'll be with the PlayStation releases.
Yeah. But right now we have an unknown release schedule for that. Same thing.
I'm so excited for that game.
Elders.
I'm unreasonably excited for that, considering how much
You've seen
we know about that game.
Right, I mean,
a single logo.
Sony has to finish buying ZeniMax before they can continue work on it.
God damn it, that's not happening.
And then Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
I'm sure that'll come out any day now.
Elder Scrolls 6. Only thing we know is after Starfield.
Same thing as I just said.
And next up,
Sony's got to buy ZeniMax.
The games they said they expect for PS5. So this is just kind of like hypothetical stuff.
AKA
is that GTA 6 or Cyberpunk 2077?
It's
GTA 6.
GTA 6. That's not even the same company.
Same
game, basically.
Realistically, I mean, has GTA even said it confirmed that they're working on GTA 6 yet? I mean, they're working on GTA 6, but have they confirmed they're working on GTA 6?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. So I have no idea. If this is the logo they go with, it does look pretty cool though.
No, that's like fan created.
Yeah. Next one, Dragon Age 4.
That we actually have had a teaser for. That I'm excited about. As long as they get more back to their roots, I think that'll be a positive outlook.
Deathloop, which looked interesting, but I really don't know like how it's gonna play yet.
Yeah.
Elden Ring also looks really cool.
I mean, what is his name? Miyazaki?
Yeah, Miyazaki. Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin are the two.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, real talk. Ever since the ending of Game of Thrones season 8, and I started reading other authors, God, there's so many other authors that deserve to have a series and games made out of their shit instead of George R.R. Martin. He got so lucky.
Do you think
maybe it's because he was old and he was about to die, so they were like, "We better do this now."
There's so many authors that die without movie deals, though.
Fantasy series of the decade.
Yeah, that's.
Well, maybe he had a special date with the right person in the special office.
That's what it is. It's
George R. R. Martin gives really good blowjobs.
Oh, I see it. The little beard and some prickling.
Oh, it tickles. Yeah,
just tickles the balls. His beard is prehensile. It reaches under and it just cuddles the balls, sticks a little bit back, maybe like twinkles the little aim. You know.
Well.
All right, moving on. That's an image that I will never get out of my head.
Just imagine his beard keeping your balls warm in the middle of the cold.
Ooh. It's like a little like a heated blanket.
Yeah.
Blackchick says, we all know Rockstar, they say nothing and out of nowhere they make a masterpiece. Yeah, there's big cost that comes with that, but yes, I agree.
I mean, it might sacrifice the social lives of 1,000 young men and women who work to make their games. And
that's fine.
Irreparably crushed and have to go to therapy for the next 10 months.
But I get a cool game, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. It's not my fucking problem.
All that's covered by insurance. So.
Do you know how many kids come out of high school want to make video games? Kick out the old ones. They're broken. Get in the new ones. Fresh meat.
And I'm busting my ass every day so that I can be one of those motherfuckers that get shoved through the meat grinder.
Just think, Jeremy, with 10 to 12 months of hard work, you too can be a Rockstar burnout.
Yeah, broken soul.
Next up is the new Assassin's Creed. All we really know about it
They're
is
still making Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is going to be Vikings.
It's going to be Vikings.
Oh, that actually sounds really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. So I played. I got into Odyssey at a really good time for about 10 hours, and then I was just like, I just one day I looked at it and went, I don't want to play that. Like,
I just want to know how realistic they're gonna make the Vikings, because Vikings are known for pillaging.
Oh, dude, they gave up on realism for forever ago. It's like it's over. The fact that you beat the absolute shit out of Medusa in.
But that's like DLC, and that's not like some drug trip.
No, that's not DLC, and that's a regular part of the game.
Well, what I'm trying to
I
figure
reject
out
the
is
nominee.
if, after you kill somebody in this new Assassin's Creed Vikings game, you fight, you chop them, they go down, and then you have sex with their body. Like, is that the Viking way?
I mean, ray tracing pillaging gonna look great.
I don't know why you said ray tracing, and the only thing was penises after that.
Everywhere.
Well, Jeremy, that's just that's just who we are.
Flapjack says they need to stop making RPG and go back to the simple combat system and shit. They literally killed sneaking with the new system. I think
Yeah,
so the problem is
It can't be like The Witcher if they do that.
they're
Flapjack.
they're stuck between two different fan bases. They want the game was getting stale, and the stealth system was kind of fucking borked. So they had to do something. And
what
then
if they just completely went with a whole different make where the goal wasn't to be stealthy, it was to be flashy and kill people.
I just-
Loud and obnoxious,
crazy.
shooting
I
off
want
fireworks.
I want them to stop making Assassin's Creed games and just admit what they are, what they want to do, which is just make historical fantasy games, which would be dope. And you can stop.
Pick a different
Bonaparte
secret
with
society.
dragons. Let's fucking go.
Why don't they pick like the Masons?
Well, this
you know,
thing
the
they can
Freemasons,
stop.
Then they can just do that.
With the bloated Templar storyline and the bloated fucking nobody, I don't give a shit. The entire time they kept dragging you into the modern day during Origins, and I'm like, no, let me go back.
Dude,
I want to be.
Oh my god, what if they made you the Borgias?
the bourgeoisie.
Yeah, can you imagine though? Like playing a game as the
yeah, I
Borgias?
just fucking popped a fucking vein. No, Flap is fucking right. I want to see a fucking World War II Assassin's Creed, or just a fucking World War II game made by the same guys where they just fucking do some crazy shit.
Well, how many Assassin's Creed games have they made? How many Assassin's Creed games?
Too fucking many.
2.5 million. I
Yeah,
think.
the franchise needs to die.
I know it was becoming what God of War was until God of War switched.
Dude,
to
God
him.
of War had 3 games,
Next-
Matt. God of War had 3 fucking games.
Not if
What's
you include
the-
Darksiders.
What was the
Darksiders is
last
not a God of War
Assassin's
game.
Creed?
God
What's
damn
that,
it.
John?
All right, next
Oh,
one.
what
Call of Duty Black Ops 5.
Jeremy, let John talk.
I said, what was the last Assassin's Creed game? Last good one.
Odyssey,
Odyssey was actually
but it was like The Witcher.
It was good. Yeah, it was the poor man's Witcher. It was good.
Okay.
I just I just reached a point where I realized I didn't give a shit.
That's how I felt when I've only played the first Assassin's Creed, and it just felt so repetitive after a while that I just passed on it. And then I saw our other roommate playing Black Flag, and that looked really cool and fun.
That's because Black
but,
Flag is
yeah,
fucking sick.
Yeah, I know.
Next one, Reed. I know you're messaging me, but I can't see it.
No, that's fine.
Call of Duty Black Ops 5. Next one. They're speculating. Well as a new BioShock game. Beyond Good and Evil 2. God of War 2. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. New Spider-Man.
This is a yikes from me.
They're really beating these games to death. I mean, how many sequels
Money.
and
Well,
yeah.
this is the paradigm that we live in now, right? Where it's like, who wants to risk money on a new IP like Anthem and have it just fucking die horribly and horrendously?
They did a half-assed job on Anthem.
Well, that's yes, but you have to think like an executive, right? They don't look at it and be like, well, the person who fucked up was me telling them to fucking whore out this game and make it shitty. That's not my fault. It's because we tried something new. If we would have just made a sequel to Mass Effect, we would have made a lot more money.
Yeah, I guess. But
Dying Light's going to be a garbage game.
Do you think so? I actually think Dying Light 2
No, it looks so good.
I thought it looked pretty good.
Well, somebody here has to have an opposite opinion.
I disagree.
Speaking of Dying Light, it is I've saw when researching for the podcast, it has been indefinitely delayed.
See?
It is in the subjects to be looked
That's
at with your eyeballs.
Unfortunate. Yeah, we'll pull it up. Project Cars 3, new FIFA, whatever. Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. Cyberpunk 2077, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, a Harry Potter RPG, Dragon Quest 12.
Let's talk about the Harry Potter RPG.
I'm trying to get things moving
I want
along.
to talk about that girl
'cause
with the flowy skirt thingy. That looks.
we've been live for 30 minutes.
People have been talking about that at work, like, and
and
there's
Reed
controversy over whether or not it's going to be a good game.
has a very limited amount of time to do this. So I want to move on to some of our other stuff.
Let's talk about important things, like how Stardew Valley broke 10 million copies sold.
I don't want to talk about that.
I was that 10 millionth person.
Matt was the 10 millionth person. I was there. So Jeremy loves Stardew Valley. You're a huge fan, right, Jeremy?
No.
Just can't get enough.
No, I'm good on
I
that.
think you're the odd man out here, Jeremy.
I am.
All three of us play
What's
Stardew Valley.
what's your deal with Stardew Valley?
So games like that I just find so fucking boring.
You haven't played it.
Yeah, but I've played Animal Crossing, which it's the same thing.
It's better than Animal Crossing.
Oh.
It's not. Can you kill people in Animal Crossing? Well, you can't do that in Stardew Valley, but you can kill monsters.
You can kill monsters in
You can die.
Animal Crossing.
You can't die. I do it almost every time we play.
I will say, Jeremy, you should have Reed just forcefully buy you the game, and you'll probably like it, because it's literally what happened with me. He's been trying to push it on me for like, what was it, like a year and a half? And then I don't know, one day he just bought it on my Switch, and it sat there for like 2 months. I didn't play it, and then one day I just decided to try it out, and then I know, like a year later, I was still playing it. It was actually really entertaining. I actually really liked it.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem fun to me. Doesn't seem like something that I would enjoy doing.
Well, neither does heroin, but I mean, we all know how that worked out.
I disagree. Heroin sounds like a shit ton of fun.
Yes, I would also agree. That does.
In other news,
let's talk about this one, Reed. This was the one that I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to talk about it, because it is kind of like intentional rage bait. And I feel like I'm feeding into it by looking at this, but
all right, Chad, get your debates ready.
Yeah, who's ready to get debated, boys? So this came out from Evil Hat Productions. Now, those of you who are not aware of who Evil Hat Productions is, I don't fucking blame you, because it's a no-name.
What an edgy name, by the way, Evil Hat. Like that's it's like a fedora, but with a frowny face.
It's clickbait, is what it is.
Yeah, the guys who they make a tabletop RPG called Fate of Cthulhu, which is, I mean, it's trying to go toe to toe with like Call of Cthulhu, and they put out this statement here. While developing Fate of Cthulhu, we were obliged to reflect on the problematic roots of the source material. We tackled that on page 6. The mythos is definitely worth exploring. It's also worth re-examining. And they basically kind of state that Lovecraft was a racist and anti-Semite. These are true things. Lovecraft, kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But so was Edgar Allan Poe. It doesn't take away from his ability as a creative artist.
No, still really love Lovecraft. I have his Necronomicon book, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this didn't get them a whole lot of attention, actually. There were,
oh, really?
there were like a decent number of people who were like, "Oh yeah, of course, Lovecraft is a piece of shit." But then there were like a handful of people who were like, "Why even bother like posting this on your Twitter? We already understood that Lovecraft was a piece of shit. You didn't need to, fly this in front of everyone." So they responded with, "Since the predictable edgelords and apologists have now shown up, a quick reminder. If you don't like the politics included in our games, don't buy them. We literally do not want your money. We are committed to diverse and inclusive gaming. We're not perfect, but we're trying."
Why would PC McCucks fucking try to make like why would their game set be about like Lovecraftian stuff? Like if they're so PC, why would they take the works of somebody who is a bit on the fringe, like to say, and make that the center of what they're trying to create.
The
Like
same reason that
this
PC cucks invaded gaming forever ago. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. The cucked, the cucked masses who pull this shit, don't actually give a shit about gaming. They don't give a shit about RPGs. They don't give a shit about Lovecraft. What they give a shit about is the fact that you're not talking about the politics that they want to talk about.
Yeah.
While you're doing these things.
Yeah.
It's why we hear this, like, we need more women in games. There's no strong women in games. Yeah, but what about Lara Croft? Lara Croft doesn't count. Yeah, well, what about Emily Caldwin? Emily Caldwin doesn't count. It's the same shit.
From Flapjack, keep politics out of fucking games. I, for the most part, agree, unless the game itself is supposed to be like a political message. But when people shoehorn that shit into like a regular, like if a game is designed to be fun, and then they sort of like stealth insert, like try to like put in politics or a political message, then it feels like kind of disingenuous, right? Because it's like we're here to have fun, and then you got to come in here with some real shit and harsh or mellow. But if you want to like if you really are passionate about this, make a game that's about this, that delivers that message powerfully, and then let that stand on its own instead of like trying to shove that shit like, like like show me candy, I open my mouth, and then you shove in fucking broccoli. No, mom, I will not eat my greens.
Yeah, it's that's like 100% my issue with this. Is well, my issue, my real issue with this is the fact that it's such clearly an obvious attempt to try and like drum up outrage, so that you can so that they can try to sell, the reverse outrage copies. The people like they like, oh, look how mad people we are that we said that Lovecraft is bad. You should buy our game just so you can prove how wrong those people are.
John, what are your thoughts? Oh, sorry, Jeremy.
No, it's fine.
Oh. I would have to agree with you, Reed. Yeah, I really don't really care so much unless it is meant to be part of the gaming experience. Then otherwise, it's like it just will take away from the gaming experience.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I have no idea what the actual contents of the book are. I had no interest in buying it. I still have no interest in buying this rule book. It could be a perfectly fine game, and if you want to play that, that's fine. Have fun, by all fucking means. It just seems like such a silly thing to get mad about. This guy that's been dead for fucking ages. You have to make like a scene about how bad he is.
It's kind of like a slow news week though for getting mad at video game stuff. So I guess they're kind of trying to capitalize on the timing.
I guess.
Right? Because it's last week it was crunch. This week it's delays. Next week it's who knows.
Flapjack asked, "Is it D&D?" Yes, it's a tabletop RPG. Of which D&D is as well. It's if it's anything like Call of Cthulhu, which I'm assuming it is, it's more focused on like survival horror and trying to. There's the meme that Call of Cthulhu is the race to zero sanity. Flapjack, damn, really want to try D&D one day. You absolutely should. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
We played literally right before the podcast.
Yep, we play it before the podcast every single week.
We killed people today with grenades. Well, I killed people with grenades.
I don't know.
Jeremy killed people with a supernova.
Yes. No, I didn't kill any people with my supernova.
Yeah, that's because you rolled bad.
It's because they rolled good.
Get wrecked, Jeremy. Roll better next time, idiot.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really think that was a big thing. It was just kind of like, oh, look at that. It's kind of gross.
In other news, Dying Light 2 is delayed. I know we teased it a little bit earlier. I'm excited about this game. Jeremy?
Yeah, I've been super excited about this. We got this information from Twitter, which I am pulling up right now. Dying Light 2 to our dedicated community. It was a busy year for us as we continued working on our biggest project to date. We know you are awaiting the game eagerly. We want to deliver exactly what we promised. We were initially aiming for a spring 2020 release with Dying Light 2, but unfortunately, we need more development time to fulfill our vision. We will have more details to share in the coming months. We'll get back to you as soon as we have more information. We apologize for this unwelcome news. Our priority is to deliver an experience that lives up to our own high standards and the expectation of you, our fans. Please stay tuned, and thank you to our fans around the world for your continued support, patience, and understanding.
I
Is
like
this going to
that.
be the year of delays?
It might be, and that would be.
So far, sounds like
It
it.
makes me wonder if there's been like some sort of like low key something going on in the background that has caused all these companies to delay.
And is it like
Uh,
console
It
issues,
might.
the hardware?
It very well might
That's kind
be.
of what I'm thinking of. There's another story that we have tonight uh about that. Jeremy, do you have that?
Yes, I've got it. I can pull it up real quick. While we're doing
Just
while
yeah,
we're
there's
doing
go
that,
ahead.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Flapjack who just started hosting us. Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
Yo,
Um,
como arigato.
yeah, we've got details. Well, it's actually just a rumor that Cyberpunk 2077 may have been delayed because it runs poorly on PS4 and Xbox One. Um, the details, which I have right here. In case you haven't heard, this is from Push Square, by the way. In case you haven't heard, Cyberpunk 2077 was hit by a pretty substantial delay recently. The open world role playing game was published from April to September, with the developer CD Projekt Red stating that the additional development time would allow for a much more polished product. But according to I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, a supposed Polish insider, current gen consoles are the main reason for the delay. Um, he speaks about the situation on a popular Polish podcast, which has since been translated to English. He basically says that CD Projekt Red was running into real trouble when it came to getting Cyberpunk 2077 to perform on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The latter especially. It's unclear what he's referring to, just the base systems or the Pro and X as well.
Hmm.
I know. So there's a lot of people on Reddit especially who are saying
Mm-hmm.
like, oh man, I can't believe they're having trouble getting their stuff to work
Mm-hmm.
on uh on current gen consoles. Their current gen consoles. How could you possibly have trouble doing that? Um, and we
They're
It's because
old
they're
at
shit.
this point. Yeah, I feel like we're way overdue for new consoles,
Yeah.
personally.
Well, I mean,
yeah
we got the new console generation coming out this year, but I mean, for everybody trying to squeak in at the last second and get everything out on this console generation, it's a rough
Mm.
game. And then somebody else had other feedback about that. Who was that, Jeremy?
It's Corey Barlog, which he is, I believe, the lead designer for God of War.
Mm.
Uh, and he had this to say: every game runs badly until you optimize the hardware in the final push before gold. He then follows up with this short Twitter book here. It's more of like a Twitter pamphlet, I guess. Uh, so I feel like I need to expand upon this because many have not, many may not have the most accurate picture of the game making process. In truth, we often probably do not want to share this because, for some reason, we believe people will jump to apocalyptic conclusions and get angry. I can't say I speak for the industry, so fellow devs chime in to disagree or correct if you feel your experience is different, but I feel this to be true for most games. Games are very ugly for a long time until they are not. Traditionally, that is right near the end. This is due to the absolutely fucking bananas level of complexity and moving pieces required to make any game today. We are more often than not going on passion to believe that the vision of this buggy and duct taped together thing is going to come together in the end. To me, there is nothing shameful or nefarious about the game not running well in development. We all obviously want to release the smoothest, most bug-free experience humanly possible. Sometimes we mostly succeed, sometimes we don't, but it is never because we did not try. That's kind of the end of his thing.
I I mean, I could every studio is going to be different, right? And obviously, every game is going to be different. I think there's a little bit of weight to this, but I don't think it's as substantial enough as to cause all these delays that we're seeing. I don't know, but I think there's something in the water. Something. Who knows?
You think so? I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's just trying to develop for the new console generation is what's holding everyone up. Either that, or everyone is just like milking the opportunity, the extra time. They're like, oh, hey, they're delaying. Oh shit, we can delay now too. Like,
Mm.
and they feel like they can get away with it. Try to get a better game.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they're being honest. Well, like I said, it really is just a rumor that it was delayed because it's running poorly on those. But I feel like if that were the case, I could see that delaying for a significant period of time, especially with a game as ambitious as Cyberpunk is.
Mm-hmm.
When they're talking about how detailed they wanted to make it, and the bits and pieces we have seen from like the gameplay demos, uh, there's so many moving pieces in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I can't remember who it was. Somebody sat down and watched the uh, the gameplay demo and tried to check to see if he could find any like duplicate NPCs. And all the NPCs, you remember like that crowded street, like right towards the beginning of the 45 minutes gameplay demo they provided. Somebody counted and they were like, I can't find a single like duplicated NPC in this crowd.
Yeah, the expectations for that game are so high. I think also maybe it's pressure on developers too, that the games that are under polished have not performed well in the last couple of years.
Yeah, don't want another No Man's Sky incident.
Yes.
Yeah, or Anthem, or all the other ones that have flopped. And with all the heavy investment, right? You're putting hundreds of millions of dollars into making these games. You want to make sure that it succeeds. So
Yeah, Boom Shakalaka 8989 says they're trying to find ways to stuff more politics in the games. That takes some time. That sounds about right. Flapjack asks, why do people care about the reason of the delay? I think people care just because waiting isn't fun, right?
because they're impatient children and they want to know why.
Yeah,
I want it now.
it's absolutely to do with impatience. Flapjack also asks, is Cyberpunk going to be on PC? To my knowledge, yes, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything saying like I haven't heard anything.
They're not going to pull a Rockstar.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys got any thoughts on this though?
Not really. I mean, it is interesting to think about. It's something that I never considered. That how they develop games, because obviously when you're developing a game, you don't want to like be inhibited technologically because you want to basically create all the game that you want to create and then bring it back. So it's just something that just you don't really think about. One of the many myriad of things about making a game that we really don't think about and underestimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just damn, gonna have to upgrade and buy a PS5. Oh fuck, that's rough, dude.
Nice.
You guys want to hit our clickbait?
Sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Clickbait?
our KotOR remake. This came from Cinelinks. Let's pull up the article here.
A very reputable news source by the fact that I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never heard of these people before in my life. Cinelinks has an article here. Knights of the Old Republic remake might be back in the cards. Time to dust off an old scoop. We've heard word that the new Knights of the Old Republic game remake or sequel is in the works. If I can, let me direct your attention to the bygone time of 2015. A lot of Star Wars things were in the air at that time when we originally reported that a Knights of the Republic remake was in some form of development. The games industry is a fickle mistress, however, and in 2016 I reported the game was put on the back burner, and it wasn't something EA was actually pursuing. It was a bummer, and frankly made me look like I was talking out of my ass. Alas, this is the way of things sometimes, until today. Unexpectedly, I heard an update from two independent sources, different from the ones who'd given me the prior information, one of whom helped me confirm our Ewan McGregor scoop from last year. This came out of the blue and caught me by surprise, which is the main reason I'm updating now. According to one, the previously mentioned Knights of the Republic remake is back in development. My other source added to the say that they felt it wasn't so much a remake, but a sequel of sorts. It would be a Knights of the Old Republic project that would integrate elements of the first two games in order to bring a certain things into the current Star Wars canon, not necessarily a remake so much as a reimagining. That's the long and short of
The more or less the gist of it.
Yeah.
So a dude heard from two other dudes that might know some shit that there's some shit going on.
Welcome to the world of journalism, boys and girls.
Hard hitting.
Yes, from Flapjack, Jedi Fallen Order is canon, and so if they make this, it would be confirmed Star Wars canon, which would be awesome.
This is the thing, though, and this is the thing that going on the assumption that this is real, that KotOR is now in the works and that it is a real thing that is going to exist. I want to stand on the opposite side of what everyone else is saying because, and I got downvoted to shit in the KotOR subreddit for this, by the way. I just want to clarify because I've already like.
John, can you take the mic out of your mouth? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm like chewing on it. I got a little distracted.
I've already gotten.
Get that man some food. He's hungry.
He hungry. I've already gotten flack for this before on the KotOR subreddit, but hear me out. I don't necessarily think that just because it has a KotOR title on it, it's guaranteed to be a good game.
No, but it could be though.
It could be, but I think having a healthy dose of pessimism in your life does wonders, especially in the Disney Star Wars era.
Jeremy, you just got to put on your fan blinders, right? So that way you don't get distracted as you run straight head first into the wall.
Exactly.
Trust me, the brain injury really makes it all go way down easier.
So look at who would be working on it. If EA, and this, I'm going to give EA the maximum possible credit on this particular point. Let's see, EA is at least smart enough to give KotOR to BioWare. To say, BioWare, you created Knights of the Old Republic, you have the right to make the next one. And they don't do something royally stupid like give it to Respawn or, God forbid, DICE.
Dude, I would be okay with Respawn doing it. Respawn's
I wouldn't be okay with Respawn has.
What, are you gonna hand it to the fucking people, the dumbasses that made Anthem?
That's you see that's my point though. Is if they give it to BioWare, firstly, they're not even giving it to the people who originally made Knights of the Old Republic. Those people, they're gone. They've been gone for
That's
years.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, a lot of those people have left.
They've been gone for years. The people who made Knights of the Republic, what Knights of the Republic was, are gone. The people who are there now are people who have no idea what the fuck to do with the franchise. And on top of that, they've already shown, because this is the thing, you know for a fact that the EA is not going to let them do it on an engine that they want to use it on. They're going to make them use the Frostbite engine because that's free for EA. They don't have to spend any money on it. And we've already seen how that's gone twice. 2 games now that BioWare has worked on in the Frostbite engine that they've been like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this. Everything's falling apart. Oh God, help, please. I don't know why EA wouldn't do that again. And let me go back to a previous point already made. We're talking about the people who made Anthem. We're talking about the people who made Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda is the first Mass Effect game that I picked up, and within an hour I was like, I don't give a shit about this.
I mean, I enjoyed Andromeda a little bit up to a certain point. Anthem was just a non-starter. That game was so borked from the beginning. Here's my hope. I hope they get a lot of development into KotOR and it gets delayed and delayed until their exclusivity agreement is up with Disney, and then some other company makes it.
This is the thing. I don't think Disney gives a shit enough to not just let EA outbid anybody else that might.
I think they're starting to, right? Because they saw, I mean, I don't know. I think they're a little sensitive, right? They're in like recovery mode after how shit their trilogy was. So they need to salvage the Star Wars franchise. And having a great KotOR game can go a long way towards doing that. Because it then starts, it opens up the door to like a KotOR movie or a KotOR TV series or all these different things that they can then merchandise. Imagine a whole KotOR wing at Disneyland. That would be some fire ass shit if they do it right.
which is the biggest fucking if in the world. Let me get some chats real quick.
Disney.
Boom Shakalaka says they will buy 3 new companies by them. By then, one of them will get it. Well, if the rumors are true, it's already in development. So I doubt that's gonna happen. Flapjack. The whole thing about New Hope was that Luke was the last Jedi, but now we have Ezra from Rebels, and we have the guy from Fallen Order, and the chick from Fallen Order. Yeah, I believe me. You're not going to get a defense of Disney Star Wars for me. They have, like, what, 3 good pieces of, like, new pieces of IP in the Star Wars universe? Yeah, no defense for me there.
Okay. Flapjack has a really good question, though. What companies would you like to see them make a Star Wars game?
Honestly,
From Software, CDPR.
Here we go. Weird one out of the bunch. And I want to see all your faces when I say this one. Naughty Dog.
Oh, I could fuck with that. Hell yeah.
Ooh,
They did
that's
great with
interesting.
the Spider-Man.
Naughty Dog didn't make Spider-Man.
No, I'm thinking Insomniac.
Yeah.
I would say Insomniac over Naughty Dog, but yeah.
Yep.
No, wait, Naughty Dog made the Drake's Fortune, right?
Yeah, they made Uncharted and they make The
Yeah.
Last of Us.
Yeah, that'd be good. I could fuck with that. Another weird one, Stress Level 0, because it would be a very simple, very not super crazy story game, but it'd be an awesome Star Wars VR game.
Boom Shakalaki, you take that shit out of here right now. I want to get to the other chat that we have though. No Pants Gomez says, "My boys, what is up?" No Pants Gomez. That is what are the hosts of Idiosyncratic Podcast? Thank you.
Shout out. Rockstar, dude, a Rockstar Star Wars game.
I don't
That
know.
would be
That
dope.
would be weird as fuck.
I would buy it. I'd buy that.
I don't
so
know that
fast.
I would be into that just because like I feel like Rockstar's combat systems are always kind of jank, and I'm not a big fan of them.
Yeah, but the quality of their games is always premium. I mean, they might kill like 10 people just making the game. It'd be still worth it just for the polish.
No Pants Gomez says Telltale might have done a dope job.
Telltale's back, don't you know? They've been resuscitated.
Yeah,
from the dead.
they're working on a new The Wolf Among Us. Actually, that'd be pretty tight. Telltale might do a good job. It'd be interesting. That's one of those ones. If I heard that Telltale is making a new Star Wars game, that might raise my eyebrow enough to get me to at least buy the first episode.
We still have to find out. We have to see how the new Telltale goes, though, because I mean, old
you
Telltale
just blew his mind.
Yeah, old Telltale had shit management, but really great talent. New Telltale, we still have yet to see what they'll make. I mean, they're gonna make the new Wolf Among Us. So, what would a Nintendo Star Wars game look like?
Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star. Okay, dude, Lego Star Wars was fire.
Lego Star Wars is fire.
I literally can't think of any other video game companies. So by that rule, none of them exist, and everything we said is absolutely true. So
we think every game company should make Star Wars.
Anything else that we want to say about KotOR? I mean,
No,
I think you and Jeremy pretty much said it all.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. I know. I'm
we timed our conversations just perfectly to not allow you to speak at all.
I'm not the only one here.
Oh, it's okay. John is here to look beautiful and attract viewership. Dude, we already got 6 viewers. That's like breaking records right there. So
Woo!
No Pants Gomez says
John?
it'd be Star Wars card if Nintendo got their grubby mitts on it. That's already a thing. That's a real thing that exists though.
I would love like Darth Vader in Smash Brothers. That would be fucking awesome. Yeah. John, thoughts on the KotOR rumors?
I mean, I've never played KotOR, so I don't really know.
Yeah, you're not the big Star Wars head of the house.
No,
we need Matt on for that. Not this Matt.
Pod racing was fun, though.
Pod racing was
now this is pod
fucking
racing.
amazing.
I would love to see a modern day pod racing game. That would be
oh
dope.
my god, that'd be so good. That'd make for a great
Dude,
arcade.
a VR pod racing game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking go. All right,
Flapjack
Jeremy,
says,
what's our next
let
topic?
Blizzard make it, then we get a Star Wars game out putting down Uprising. Let's go back to some of our smaller topics real quick. Because there was one that I was really interested in checking out. Frictional Games is launching a new ARG.
Who is Frictional Games and what is an ARG?
Frictional Games were the developers of Soma. Were they Amnesia? They were big in like kind of like the hide and climb in lockers horror games. Yes, it was Amnesia they made.
It was Amnesia. Yep.
Yep.
So what? It's an ARG, aka an alternate reality game, like Pokemon Go, kind of. So are people going to be like running around hiding in stores? Like I did that at the Buckle, but
that's not what an ARG is. ARGs are games where basically like I think the best example that I can give off the top of my head is
the bees thing from Halo.
Yes, the bee things.
That's probably that's the most famous one, I think.
Where basically it's like kind of like there's a Twitter account or something that's giving like information. You're trying to like either solve like codes that are put out on this Twitter account, and like the community has to come together and work together to try and solve a puzzle.
It's like community puzzle solving.
Yeah. So the article reads, it's currently a very spooky pulsating object on Frictional Games' website, and judging by the page name, I think it's safe to say this is about a new game. But what is that thing? An eyeball? Frog spawn? Who knows? I want to have a look at this thing real quick. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Yeah, throw that shit up.
Yeah, this is it. You can see it on the center of the screen there. Let me zoom in.
Zoom in. Enhance.
Yeah, this is
enhance.
All they have right now on the screen.
Is that it?
That's it.
Just that little pulsating.
Yep. Just that little pulsating.
It looks like a loading screen.
A little bit, actually, yeah. Let's go back to
loading
to the article though. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Hey, you guys can see our back end now. You guys can get a look at what we're what we're gonna talk about later.
Our secret podcasting strategy. No one must know.
So, but what is that thing? An eyeball? Frog spawn? Who knows? The studio, known for its utterly terrifying horror games Amnesia: The Dark Descent and Soma, apparently began the ARG at the end of December, and fans are in the midst of unraveling the mystery. For those unfamiliar, ARG means alternate reality game, normally taking the form of a treasure hunt across the internet to hop between clues and solve a puzzle. Transmedia storytelling, if you want to be fancy, and one famous example includes the I Love Bees ARG used to market Halo 2. The main discussion seems to be taking place on the Frictional Games Discord, and within that, someone's created a Google Doc to list all possible ideas. The main findings so far, as explained by Foxnull on Reset Era, are 2 YouTube videos, the first of which was found by hovering over an eyeball hieroglyph on the website. Fans so far have spotted some weird symbols on a rock, theories for which currently range from mitosis to an alien symbol. The video's description, meanwhile, says the video is from Shetpe in Kazakhstan, suggesting the game could take place during the time of the KSSR, that would be 1936 to 91, a possible location, perhaps. And this is the video.
Dude, I'm calling it. This is going to be like some SCP game that they're making.
Of course it's SCP. It's like everything from Frictional Games is SCP shit. Yeah, the second YouTube video, meanwhile, was found via the website's code and leads to a black screen video with some nasty screams. ARGers are currently focusing on the Triple Crown hint in the description, which some believe could be linked to the the misspelled Egyptian, Triple Adif or Hemhem Crown, which would link in nicely with the Egyptian-style eye on the website, but it's still anyone's guess. If you don't like screams, I would cover your ears, because I'm going to go ahead and play this.
Headphone warning.
Is it loading?
No, it's playing.
You might not hear it on the Discord, but you'll hear it on. the podcast channel if you're watching it. It's not that loud.
This isn't the first time the Frictional Games used an ARG to tease a new game. One was used to market Soma, the reward for which was a 12-minute gameplay trailer. This one's a little different, as we don't yet know the new game's title, which could make the reward even sweeter or more horrifying, perhaps.
Dude, ARGs are tight. There's so many rabbit holes you can get on like ARGs that have been run off of YouTube and shit like that. Some like real Illuminati shit if you get into it. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, recently I've been over the last year I've gotten really into ARGs, and just in general, like kind of multimedia storytelling like that.
Oh, sorry, I just thought it was funny. Just come back and look on John's face.
Hey, we got some chats though. Let's go ahead and have a look at those. Boom Shakalaka posts the description of I'm assuming this is the Wikipedia opening page of an ARG. No Pants Gomez from the guys that did Amnesia. Take my rupees. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm stoked. Flapjack just says Fortnite.
Dude, Fortnite like a Fortnite horror game. I'm so in.
Boom Shakalaka 8989 behind the curtains. Flapjack says, fuck, it's 4:30. This shit is too scary for me. Sounded like a fucking horse. No Pants Gomez says, screams, my only weakness. And Flapjack finally says, I'm too stupid to figure that shit out. Oh, you're like me though. I just show up, I hang out on these discords where people are trying to figure the shit out, and then I get to be like, yeah, I help figure it out by watching other people figure it out.
Dude, you could be like the Watson to their homes.
Exactly.
You give the wrong ideas so they can have the right.
Oh, I don't.
ideas.
My social anxiety will not allow me to give ideas when I'm pretty like 90% sure they're wrong.
Mm-hmm. But what if it's just numbers?
What do the numbers mean, Mason?
Real quick, this is just my thought. You know how they did that sort of like fake VHS stuff? What if that, if you analyze that because it wasn't complete, maybe there's like Morse code in the little lines. Never mind.
On the
That's my thought. I'm calling it. That's the tip to the next video.
I'd be curious. I love ARG, so I'm actually like I saw that on the games subreddit today, and I was like, we got to talk about this because I've recently fallen very much in love with ARGs. Yeah. What do we want to talk about next? Fudge says, Reed, you can figure that out if you have glasses. You have a 2,500 IQ.
Pourquoi? Sorry, I didn't have my headphones in for a second.
Flapjack says with your glasses, that gives you a 2,500 IQ, so you could probably figure it out. If you wore your glasses. Yeah, Boom Shakalaka 8989 says maybe play the screens backward. That's a possibility. That's not an uncommon solution to some of these. So maybe.
Maybe.
But in the meantime, we'll move on with our stuff. But if I were you, I would absolutely keep an eye on that. You guys should check out the Frictional Games Discord channel.
I have a funny fucking story.
Okay.
Funny-ish, right? So, basically, a court ruled in Pennsylvania. That basically said that somebody was suing a company because they said their civil rights were violated because they were muted in a game. And I looked this up, and it's really, first of all, they're suing a Chinese company for an unnamed streaming game, is what they called it. It says they reported on him before, and it says this time around, Ellen Sari, which is the name of the plaintiff, claimed his largely handwritten lawsuit that Jagex Incorporated, based in the United Kingdom, and several Chinese firms violated his free speech rights and due process of law when he was muted out of an unnamed streaming game in March 2019. I love the idea of him handwriting out an entire lawsuit. Like, dear Jagex, I am suing you. You muted me and that's not nice. I am very sad now. See you in court.
Oh my God. That's a special kind of angry where you take time out of your life to handwrite just how pissed off you are.
It gets even better. Because this isn't the first lawsuit he had. He filed a lawsuit back in November, which you can see on the link below it, Jeremy.
Okay. Yeah. Let me pull it up.
And it says a federal appeals court has refused to reinstate a class action, quote unquote, lawsuit by a Pennsylvania man who claimed he was scammed by the Tinder dating app. The Exton man asserted his largely handwritten complaint, again, handwritten complaint, that Tinder sends you notifications saying that 7 people like you, then offers a $15 a month subscription to find out who they are. And Sari claimed that those supposedly interested people are all fake and 3,000 miles away. So everybody on
No.
this man who hands write his lawsuits, he's like, there's 7 people that like me. He pays the $15 a month, and they're all bots.
We got some chats. Let me hit these real quick. Flagic says, "Damn, if you could sue people for muting, I can earn a lot of money." No joke, dude. No Pants Go says, "Dude, China's acted like a bunch of hot dogs and milk right now."
Hot dog milk.
Flapjack follows with hot dog milk. And Boop Swag always says, "Haha, I need to finish my map/hot dog milk Photoshop soon."
So,
This guy.
I saw that.
Are we okay? So I have a question. Are we sure this guy's not a troll though?
I mean, if he is, the fact that he takes time to handwrite lawsuits, he's a very dedicated troll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call troll on this because I think like handwriting a letter like that I don't think would take as long as you think it would. And all you gotta do is write one letter, right?
Yeah.
And send it to the court and be like, "I'm suing." This
I don't know the law. I feel like there's a lot more involved than just writing back, "I am Sue."
Yeah. No Pants Gomez says, "Dude, trolling's an art." That's true. He of all people would know. No Pants Gomez has a very dedicated troll account on Twitter. Yeah, I know. I feel like this might be. I feel like this might be a troll.
It's probably a troll. In other news, we had some Xbox news leak.
Yes, we do.
Somebody posted a picture of the new Xbox. If you want to take a look at that.
I'm pulling it up right now.
So we already kind of know what the console looks like from their announcement at the Game Awards. But this is the first time that we get to see the backside, if you know what I mean.
Hey.
That's right. I'm talking about ports, baby.
Yep. So this is the front side here. And this is the backside, and it looks exactly like a PC.
You can. Yeah, I mean, basically, there's a lot of a hubbub about what it's going to look like. People so desperate for news. I love how it says Xbox product name placeholder.
Yeah, I don't know that they have did they confirm what the name is going to be?
It'll probably change at the last second, probably.
Yeah.
But we've got 2 USB Type A ports, Ethernet connection, obviously power because that's important, and HDMI. Kind of sad there's no display port because HDMI is limited in both picture quality, picture resolution, and frame rate. While DisplayPort is pretty much fully open, as well as they have the optical sound port. So,
Matt, what's your take on this? What do you think about the back of this here?
Is it a back end that you could get behind?
Matt, hello.
Matt.
I don't know if we lost. I don't know if we lost him or he's mad at us.
Just cycle his video. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's do that. Matt like left. He's at the strip club right now. He's tossing. He's making it rain.
It's a body double.
Oh my god. All right, in that case,
John, what do you think about this?
That would explain why he's been so quiet this whole time. What do I think of it? I mean, I think it's definitely something I could get behind. Pun definitely intended. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're pretty overdue for a new console for Xbox and PlayStation, and it's a prototype. I don't really like the design, but they could definitely come out with something different before it's actually released.
I don't know. My question is, how is it gonna fit in our fucking entertainment center? Where are we gonna put this motherfucker?
This thing's
I don't know.
Flapjack says a new Xbox is just a PC. Looks like a shit Best Buy PC they sell to soccer moms for $700. Boom Shagalog says, but can I steal movies on it?
Probably.
No Pants Gomez says Matt's acting like a bunch of hot dogs and milk right now. I like it. That's the one. Every time I say it, you can see him like cringe just like a little bit. He's trying to hide it. And Boom Shagalog asked Matt, do you like port?
Port wine. Do you like it?
You like port wine?
Take that as a yes.
Port wine, motherfucker. Do you like it? Yeah. In other Xbox news,
sideways
I saw that too.
Accurate, very.
In other Xbox news, they did. We got some more news from xCloud. They announced 12 more games. xCloud is currently in beta right now. We were talking earlier, maybe it was before the podcast, I can't remember, about how shitty Stadia has. I think fucking Stadia is going to be fucking dead on arrival once xCloud comes out. Like, look at the fucking games list that they're announcing. So, for people who don't know, this is Xbox's version of Stadia, except it's done by a company that actually knows what they're doing, apparently. So, but look at that fucking fat game list. Hot damn.
Yeah, there's a ton of games. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but at least look at some of the highlights here. Looks like we're getting Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, which I think is pretty cool. Getting Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Are they going to have like every Tomb Raider game as well?
Probably.
They're getting DayZ, which that one was actually a surprise for me. We're getting...
Who plays that game?
I do occasionally. We're getting Halo 5, we're getting Halo the Master Chief Collection, Halo Wars 2, we're getting Gears 5,
Destiny 2.
Gears War Ultimate Edition, yep, Destiny 2.
Forza?
World War Z, Hitman, Hello Neighbor, Kingdom Come Deliverance. That is awesome. That's a great game. WWE 2K20, so you can enjoy the glitches even on the go.
Play the real Tom.
Getting Warhammer Vermintide 2, Wasteland 2 Director's Cut, Tekken 7. Yeah, they got some good games on here. They got some good solid games, I think. Flapjack says, "Ooh, just re-download Kingdom Come. Dude, it's a great game. I love it." So yeah, they've actually got some solid shit. They've already got a significantly larger library than Stadia has. So and this thing's not even fucking out yet. I don't know. I think this stuff is cool. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm excited. I think it's gonna fucking put Stadia out of its misery. Fucking put that fucking piece of crap down.
Well, Stadia is trying to come back. Keep in mind, I said trying. I didn't say they're succeeding when we move into this next section. But Stadia is attempting with the new year to try and turn things around. They've got this here that they posted. Stadia in the new year from the Stadia team. Hi everybody, when Stadia launched in November, we delivered a great gaming experience for players, citation needed, and we continue to work towards our long-term vision for the future of gaming. Stadia is an evolving platform, and we've been busy in the 2 months since launch adding great content, features, and ways to play. Among others, we have added more great games to the Stadia library, including 6 titles to Stadia Pro. Welcome Typhoon Studios to our Stadia Games and Entertainment family. Updated, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares about this shit. What's important is what they're planning on doing for next year. Looking at our upcoming lineup, we are tracking more than 120 games coming to Stadia in 2020 and are targeting more than 10 games in the first half of this year alone that will be only available on Stadia when they launch, which guarantees a death sentence for those games. We're working with our partners to share more on those games soon. Gamers can expect more features coming to Stadia in Q1 and beyond. A key benefit of the platform is that we can add these features without any updates or downloads, and we're starting to roll out the following over the next 3 months. Support for 4K gaming on the web, which I will remind you was a promise that we would have on launch, but there we go. Add further assistant functionality when playing on the web. Support additional Android phones and wireless gameplay on the web through the Stadia controller. Hold on, wait, what? Wireless gameplay on the web through the Stadia controller. Isn't that like the entire point of Stadia? Am I missing something here? Like,
wait. So explain to me what exactly happened with Stadia, because I didn't hear about it until long after released and basically flopped.
They basically, well, one, their payment model is kind of too
Garbage.
expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of whack.
Yeah. Two, they made a lot of promises that they didn't quite deliver on at launch, and it just didn't work as cleanly and clearly at launch as it needed to in order to have any sort of appeal.
Hold up, before we move forward, and this is great, and I'm gonna let you finish, Reed. But I just want to say that you just said in the chat, Stadia.
Oh yeah,
Stadia is like a malformed cat fetus. Has some appeal, but mostly paralyzed at birth.
Needs support to go anywhere. It needs like a little wheelchair. It's like a kitten who's paralyzed.
What appeal? I want to know what.
Tell me what baby kitty cat doesn't have any sort of appeal.
A newborn cat? They look weird, man. They've got like bug eyes going in the direction. It's
Boom Shakalaka is I wish we had back cam so you can see through his eyes right now. I'm curious. I want to look. I want to check something real quick.
Here, I'm.
Oh, okay.
I'm posting a video in the chat.
I just wanted to double check that he wasn't just sitting there playing games. It's like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna play games.
He's doing it.
Gotta make sure he has enough money for the new console releases.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna bankrupt all of us. Yeah, so Stadia is trying desperately to stay afloat. But unfortunately,
it's gonna. But as soon as it gets any competition, like its entire market is gonna be destroyed, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a small market to begin with, right? Because really, who needs this service? Because if you want to play games, why not play it any other way?
Plus, it's Google. I feel like they're notorious for starting this big project and then just letting it go and die. Like, you remember when we were in still living in Kansas, there was what was it? The Google Internet.
Yeah, Google Fiber.
Yeah, Google Fiber. Like that. Yeah, it still exists, but like that was years ago. The whole idea was for it to go, be reachable to everybody around the world, and it's in so few select cities, and I feel like Google's just kind of doing that with a lot of different projects. So personally, I don't think they're really gonna do too much more with Stadia to really make it stand up against other competitions.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but I think that that's probably one of the more successful adventures because it still exists, right? Like Jeremy, you've got Google Internet, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe the way that they should have done it is they've given free Stadia to everyone with Google Internet.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I if they did that, I would have at least tried it.
Yeah.
Although it sounds like up until recently it wasn't worth trying anyway. And with that, Google Stadia's mobile downloads have also halved since November. This is come from PocketGamer.biz. According to Sensor Tower data from November 5th, 2019 to January 13th, 2020, the mobile app version of Stadia has accumulated 550,000 installs. It's worth noting that while Stadia launched on November 19th, the Google Play app was made available on November 5th, and the App Store version became accessible on the 12th. The Stadia mobile app achieved 383,000 downloads in November alone, meaning that the number of apps installs has only increased by 43.6% since. 383,000 downloads in November.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, but there's a total of 550,000.
Oh, but that's just for the app, right? Because you don't have to pay for the app, right?
Yeah, you can just download the app for free.
Okay, so, but even still, I think that's like a decent start, right?
It's the fact that it's fallen by 50%. What that tells me is that no one's fucking getting Stadia. Like they had the initial burst of people who wanted to try it out, but nobody's like going to their friends and being like, "Yes, this is the shit. This is what you need to be on. You need to get Stadia right now." Nobody's fucking doing it.
Yeah, no, I like I said earlier, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, there's no cultural relevance at all. Yeah. Flapjack, am I the only one who is done with subscriptions for games? Like, wow, bankrupt me and the same Origin premium. By the way, fuck Origin. Yes, fuck Origin. I would say game subscriptions are largely annoying unless you really get value for them. The Xbox One, and I guess Sony has it too, but oh wow, like wow, I got you. Lol. No, the Xbox Game Pass, I feel like is a super great value. You get access to like hundreds of games for like it is $15 a month, which is pretty steep, but that's not bad if you want to hop in, pay $15, binge a game like a Netflix thing, and get out. I mean, that's how I played Outer Worlds.
Yeah. I don't know. There are certain. I think there are certain subscriptions that are worth it. But I think you are correct. Fletch, I think you are correct in things like, especially, I was having this conversation with somebody in my class the other day that I think that the MMO genre, especially the paid MMO genre, is dying. And I think paying for subscriptions is a big part of that, because nobody wants to pay every single month to play a game, especially when they can get that kind of enjoyment out of like literally any other game. No Bats Gomez says, I just don't understand how a wireless concept like Stadia seems remotely viable for 4K 60 FPS gaming with AAA gaming. It doesn't seem feasible. And that's the thing. It's not. That's why it didn't fucking work when it first came out. And that's why it still doesn't work. Reed, you bring up a good point. If we had a good ISPs to the internet infrastructure, maybe. But in the US, it's borked. I do like the defense that Google tried to like put forward when people were like, "Why the fuck is Stadia a piece of shit?" They're like, "Well, we were trying to push the boundaries and try to force ISPs to give better internet." It's like,
to be fair though, they did do that with Google Fiber.
They did do that with Google Fiber.
They forced a lot of IPs to like pentuple their internet speeds.
They did it with Google Fiber, but they did that because they forced them to, because they gave them direct competition. This doesn't establish direct competition.
That's true. Yeah.
All this does is highlight that you need good internet to have nice things. Yeah. And you want to know, the ISPs are going to look at it and they're going to, yeah, you're right. Too bad we don't fucking offer it.
Or care to.
Nopads Go as telecom lobbying is the downfall of progression. In the tech
Yes.
industry, I agree. Yes, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, can we get a big ol' fuck you to the FCC in chat, please?
Yeah, hashtag fuck FCC.
Yay. And I'm like,
uh,
fuck you. Doo, doo, doo. All right, we just got copyright struck.
yeah, they're taken right off the internet.
In other news,
Let's do this one. The
UK Health Service says loot boxes are setting kids up for a gambling addiction. Find out tonight at 10.
Yep. This
I
Oh,
believe
hey,
it.
look, it's 10 right now in the Midwest.
it is, as a matter of fact. This is from the NHS, the National Health Service in the UK. Country's top mental health nurse warns video games pushing young people into under the radar gambling. NHS Mental Health Director Claire Murdoch has today called on gaming companies to crack down on gambling addiction risks by banning loot boxes from their products. Ms. Murdoch has warned video game firms that they risk setting kids up for addiction by building gambling tasks into their games. In response to growing concerns about the addiction to gaming, the NHS has confirmed the opening of a new treatment center alongside up to 14 new NHS gambling clinics nationwide to address significant mental ill health linked to addiction. The investment
Is it anything like the Chinese gaming reform camps?
is hold up. I know I'm going to bring you back up on screen for a second, because what did you just say to me?
Is it anything like the Chinese gaming reform camps?
What are these Chinese? What are these Chinese gaming reform camps?
I've never heard of this, John.
Yeah, no, I literally never heard of this. Like, I'm not even setting you up for a bit. This
Oh yeah,
sounds
like especially
hilarious.
it was really bad when WoW was still really big. Yeah, there were these reform camps that parents would send their children to, and they basically like beat these children into
Oh
giving
my
up
god!
gaming as a lifestyle. There was a one article I read when I was still in high school where one kid died within 6 hours of getting there.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really bad.
You should
Moonshot
have had a
likes this
health
like fat camp. But Flapjacks it's even worse in North Korea. I never knew about this. Holy fucking
Yeah.
shit! Like, this is news to me.
Nice, Jeremy.
Oh my god! Like, this is awful. All right, let's
Dude, Fat Camp, the fucking Disney movie, great. Fat Camp, the Chinese experience, not great.
Oh my god! All right,
No.
thanks for educating me, John. I'd never heard of this
Oh, yeah, I
before.
mean, I'm surprised you never heard of it.
Oh.
Um,
Going further in the article, NHS Mental Health Director Claire Murdoch says, frankly, no company should be setting kids up for addiction by teaching them to gamble on the content of these loot boxes. No firm should sell to children loot box games with this element of chance, so yes, those sales should end. Young people health is at stake, and although the NHS is stepping up with these new innovative services available to families through our long-term plan, we cannot do this alone, so other parts of society must do what they can to limit risks and safeguard children's well-being. That's kind of the long and short of the NHS's bit on this. Before we move on to the second part of this, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you agree? Disagree?
100% agree.
like I mean, I think but it's a certain type of gambling addiction because I think it's all. I mean, I think it's specifically by attaching it to video games, it makes
Mhm.
it. I don't know. I think there has to
Yeah.
be more information, but my gut tells me that that it doesn't make you inherently just attracted to gambling in general. Like, no kid's gonna be like walking down the street and see two shady characters playing craps in an alley and be like, "Gotta get me some of that," you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it opens him up to it a little bit, but I think
I think
he's going to be
it
hooked.
catches you
Any
up.
game that has a loot box, if a kid buys loot boxes early on, he's going to be buying them for the rest of his life, just like jewel pods and puff bars.
Yeah. No, I think that it hits kids on a smaller scale compared to like casino gambling because you're winning like big money in those scenarios, so you're getting a really huge hit of dopamine. But with gaming, it's just the same thing but on a much smaller scale. And it's like that same feeling when you win a legendary or an epic item. It's really gratifying, and that's what got me hooked on Overwatch. I was playing it so much, and I really wanted those skins, and I would get so pissed off when I didn't get the one that I wanted.
Dude, we were fiending for that shit.
Yeah. Matt, you got anything? Nope, still hanging
Awesome.
out. All right.
Insightful. I love it.
No, I want to hit the chat real quick before we move on as well. No Pants Gomez says, "Oh yeah, I definitely believe it kickstarts a gambling fancy. You get those dopamine hits, and you'll be sucking dick for loot boxes in no time." There's this chain here that I think is actually springboard's an interesting conversation. Flapjack says, "Do children not have parents anymore in 2020?" No Pants Gomez responds, hashtag no parents 2020. Flapjack says, "Shouldn't parents look what the fuck their kid is doing on their iPad?"
Maybe they had Pokemon stickers.
Boop Shakalaka, maybe they had Pokemon stickers in the alley. No Pants Gomez says the iPad is their parent now, my man. My little brother spent over $100 on that goddamn Talking Tom cat app. You have microtransactions on Talking Tom? What the fuck? Flatcheck says my niece is 2 and she has a fucking $200 iPad. And Poop Shakalaka is another deep dive report by that. No, I do. I'm kind of on two separate minds on this issue, because on one hand, yes, you're right, Flapjack. Parents should be there to look at see what their kids are doing. A lot of parents do treat gaming consoles as the babysitter box, and they really fucking shouldn't.
I mean, depending on the parents, it might be an improvement.
True.
This is true. But on the other hand, there's a lot of game companies who know exactly what they're doing and are counting on kids being there to being there to drain their parents' bank account to get the skin they want, or the player in FIFA that they want for their my team. And that, in my opinion, is pretty fucking abhorrent.
It's true. I was one of those kids.
That should be stopped.
You did that, John? It sounds like
I dug around in my parents' drawer when I was still in high school, found some old card I knew nothing about, and I just used it to buy shit off of.
You stole your parents' credit card and
to get loot boxes
card and buy shit online. What did you buy? Like porn?
Yeah, I want to know.
Honestly, it was okay. So, I'm ashamed
John's
to say,
trying to decide how much he wants to incriminate himself.
I fell for one of those stupid ads that was talking about buy 20 movies and win a free Xbox, because this was when the original Xbox was still new, and so I was really wanting to get that, and my parents weren't.
All you had to do was just buy 20 movies.
Yeah, got the movies, never got the Xbox.
No Pants Goes, and I think we need to accept the fact that these loot boxes were inherently created to stroke that dopamine hard on. Why else would EA, the worst company of all time, fight tooth and nail to keep them in every title they've been releasing for the past 5 or so years? He also follows up when he bought the Overwatch skins. Yeah, no, I agree, and that's my thing is. Game companies know what they're doing when they're throwing loot boxes in. They know how that affects the brain. As a matter of fact, I watched a seminar, and I've talked with them in the podcast before, where they discuss the intent of like following this player's psychology and intentionally trying to trigger those dopamine responses, and when you want to be giving players things, and when you want to pull back and get them to start spending. And there's a really like sinister art to this. Where it's not just like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we had loot boxes? It's a good way to monetize. It's no. How can we get them to buy the most loot boxes? Yeah, Flapjack says, still parents' responsibility. We don't complain when we see candy at the front of the store to bait people to buy it. We don't complain when we see misleading ads on TV. I don't know about loot boxes. I only don't like it when it affects the skill.
But that's more like microtransactions in general. But yeah,
Yeah, well, and part of it is when you
Yeah.
see the when you see the candy and read, it sounds like you're kind of pressing on this point. Is when you see
Mhm.
the candy at the front of the store, you're always going to get that candy, no matter how much you know that when you
so
spend.
every fifth Snickers bar you open up is just a dog turd. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I lost.
I gotta go through them again. Yeah, no, and it is really sinister. Like Fortnite, they hired psychologists just to make the game as addictive as possible. And it's like it's really crazy how much they are just really pining for attention from the kids and their money that they
Boom
have
shock.
access to from the parents.
Yes, Boom shock let us know. Can we toss over to Matt to get his take on this important topic, please? Matt, take it away.
I love that deep thought.
This is a good pose. I need to set up a separate source just to capture Matt. No Pants says Matt Silo of the Matter means he's actually an EA operative.
Uh-oh.
Holy shit, dude! This goes deeper than I ever thought it would.
This is some deep state shit. Dude, Matt's the low key guy. He knew they used some fucking EA. They own a machine that could see the future. That explains about his D&D campaign. Okay, long story short, they could see the future, and they know that the NIG, the NIG podcast, would be big someday. So they sent an operative, aka Matt the Machine Simmons, to fucking infiltrate us and help turn us from the inside out. Well,
Oh
you know
my
what?
god,
We see you. We
Matt,
see you, Matt.
did you have that moment where like when you came back from the future and you walked into the bar, you're like, I need your clothes and the keys to your motorcycle.
Also buy more loot boxes.
blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
That was one for yes.
That's one.
It's confirmed. Matt is the Terminator. We now know. Matt is the Terminator sent by EA. No, he's sent by Sega.
Oh shit!
Oh.
That's what he's been trying to tell us the whole time.
All right, this is some deep memes. For not everybody might know them, but on like our very first or second episode, Matt said that Sega's the most evil company of all time. So
And now we
they're
know
gonna
why.
absorb EA and become the most evil company.
Now
of
we
all
know
Wait,
why.
what was his reasoning for that?
It is.
Oh.
They
Well,
created Sonic.
it's because he knows he's from the future. He knows.
Now he actually knows. He couldn't tell us, right? He was trying to tell us, but he couldn't.
He's
His
trying to warn, so
programming
he's
wouldn't allow. Dude, the hat. It's always been the hat. The hat is the mind control device.
That's
Also, hashtag dope hat, Matt.
hashtag dope hat, Matt. No Pants Ghost says Matt's real last name is Windstar.
Oh,
Oh my
Nice.
god.
oh, good times. Do we have
you-
any more topic to talk about tonight?
Well, we have more. We have more on the UK National Health Service thing because
Oh, okay. I
Um,
don't care about health.
the
The kids
UK
can fend for themselves. I did.
The UK Interactive Entertainment Association launches the Get Smart About Play initiative in response to this National Health Service article. I don't know that article's the right term, but that's what I'm going to go with. Let's have a look at it here. Get Smart About Play. The UK Interactive Association, also known as Yuki, today
That guy
launched...
does not play video games. I'm sorry.
He's a soccer player, actually. They hired him to be here.
They hired him to pretend to play video games.
Exactly.
Look how healthy he is. There's no way he plays video games.
As they launched the Get Smart About Play campaign, encouraging more parents and careers to use tools that manage screen time and in-game purchases on video game consoles. The campaign.
YouTube face.
I know, right? The campaign follows a recent
Yes,
report.
Flapjack knows.
The campaign follows a recent report from Europe's video game industry body, which found that only 1 in 5 parents of children who spend money on video games use the family controls available on gaming devices. This is backed up in a 2019 NSPCC study that revealed just 19% of parents of children aged 5 through 15 use family controls on internet-connected devices. Moving a little further down, Rio Ferdinand, a parent and keen game player, has joined the campaign, which provides step-by-step guides on how to use the controls and the benefits that they provide. My kids love playing video games, but as a parent, it's important to me to be able to manage the amount of time they play, says Rio Ferdinand. Family controls can help achieve a balance at home between screen time and other activities. They're easy to use.
It sounds like such an ad.
Arguments. That's because that's what this is. It's an advertisement.
My kids love playing video games, but as a parent, it's important to me to manage the amount of time they play.
I'm glad you.
Family controls can help achieve a balance at home between screen time and other activities. They're easy to use and save a lot of arguments in the long run.
I'm glad that you cut straight through to that. Because that was my takeaway from this. This is not like an actual like earnest and real attempt to try and get parents to make sure their kids aren't spending boatloads of money on video games. This is a token attempt to go see we're working on fixing this problem. We're gonna fix it. We're telling parents to do more parenting, all the while they know that this isn't gonna happen. The parents are never gonna fucking see this.
This is why every console that's being sold to a family should be sold with a bouncer. They need a big, strong guy who'd be like, you're not getting in, son. I know. Here's the thing: it works for all ages. Even if they grow up into a teenager or in a grown-ass man, he's like, sit your ass down. You've been playing too much.
I would
15-minute break every hour right now.
I want
give me
20. I want it to be Rob McElhenney.
What, you want to buy some loot boxes, son? Not with this card.
I want it to be Rob McElhenney.
You have to go out and get a job, make your own damn money.
Mac from It's Always Sunny, and I want him to every single time I want to do an ocular pat down. I want him to somebody walks up, and they're like, "Yeah, can I get an Xbox, please?" And Mac is just standing there. Hold up.
Okay.
Okay, you're good.
No weapons. You're good.
So what play stands for is play games with your kids. Learn about family controls. Ask what your kids think. You are in charge. Oh, fuck. Do you guys want to watch the actual video for the
No, we don't have enough time.
Well,
I want to talk about other things.
It's a minute long.
This is very entertaining. Okay, play it. I want to see how bad it is.
Yeah, that's the real reason I want to watch it.
Oh.
Let's have a look here.
Let's move up.
Jabroni.
No, we're gonna smash you.
The big man's in. England against England.
Go on.
My kids, they love playing video games. They get in from school. We've got a routine. You get your homework done. Make sure your bags and stuff are put away. Then you can go onto the computer and play. Go.
Lucky.
Oh my God!
See, I told you.
The enjoyment of me sitting there, having that little bit of time with the kids, us having a laugh, a bit of banter, me winning most of the time. It's unrivaled. Oh my gosh! Oh my God! The Get Smart About Play campaign provides parents and guardians with practical tips
I came
on how
for
to
the
achieve
shitty
balance
advertising,
and set
I stayed.
parameters on the amount of time and money is spent on play.
I refuse to believe that he wins
It's all
most
about
of the time.
understanding what games your child is playing. Stop moaning, bro.
Okay.
Learning how to install parental controls to limit time, spend, or interactions with other players. Discussing the amount of game time and agreeing limits together.
What are you doing?
I'm
Remembering that
entranced
the
by his
controls put
voice.
you, as a parent or guardian,
Fucking read a
in the
fucking
driving
phone
seat.
book.
You wouldn't give your child a bike without providing a helmet and stabilizers. The same can be said
I
for
take
video
it back.
game
They chose the
consoles and
perfect
parental
motherfucker
controls.
for this.
Wait! Tapu's back, bro. Tapu's back. Setting up parental controls is straightforward. Head to www.askaboutgames.com to find a step-by-step guide. Lucky boys. You right?
You just got lucky every time.
What do you mean I got
I'm
lucky?
going there right
You
now.
got beat.
This is how effective this ad is. Dude, I got jebaited.
You change your mind? Are you on board for this now?
.com.
Oh, he's going. Yeah, I don't know. It felt pretty hollow to me. If you disagree,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was hollow, but that voice though, dude.
The voice is pretty captivating.
The
It's
voice,
silky.
the voice is
Yeah.
good.
It's like, I mean, it's one step away from Idris Elba, like singing me to, like talking me to sleep. Oh,
Matt, what do you think?
I like it.
That was what I thought. That's
Very
kind of
good.
I'm
Got
starting to pick
great-
up on. I'm starting to
great
pick up on your
thoughts.
opinions.
yeah, I could dig. I could dig.
I feel like we're really connecting right now. He's staring into my soul, and it's
Jesus
just
Christ.
so beautiful.
You know, and that's the best thing about Matt is he listens. He listens.
It's a strong silent type. I love it.
Flapjack says, "Bro, this is all just common sense. It's like saying don't let your 3-year-old play Yandere, or just don't play Yandere at all because that's a shit game."
Dude, fuck off. I'll kill you if you say anything bad about my favorite game.
Do you really like Yandere?
No, it's a joke, Jeremy.
No, I'm asking you. Do you like Yandere?
No. I mean, like, as a genre, yes.
The game.
As a video game, no. Come on. Future Death Diaries? Come on. I want
Ooh,
to
Flapjack
life
says,
Future
like,
Diaries.
fucking
Oh, man, that was
weebs.
good.
Can we get some ayayas in the chat?
Let's talk about we are running short on time though. Reed is correct. Reed, did you have any other articles that you wanted to hit before we
There was,
do
like,
the releases?
one, right? Two?
We have a handful left, but they're all
We
like
need
kind of smaller
yeah,
stuff.
Half-Life. They're okay, two things. One,
That's the one.
all Half-Life games are free on Steam until Half-Life Alyx comes out. If you don't have Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 1 or those two games, if you don't have either of them, go buy that shit.
Episode
right
1 and
now.
2.
It's the same thing.
Is Black Mesa included in that?
Maybe. Only one way to find out. The shit's free.
Boom Shakalaka says, I've never played them. I will do that now. You should. They're
Do
fantastic
it.
games. They're very good games.
Yes.
Matt, have you played
also-
Half-Life?
That looked like a head nod. That's a yes.
Say the little head nod, yeah.
The other part of this is they did an AMA on Reddit. So this is big fucking deal because Valve never fucking talks. They will do some shit and then it'll be like 12 months before they let you know what happened.
Yeah, let's have a
But-
It's some
But
of
can
the-
you clarify something for me? Is this new Half-Life, is it officially 3 or is it what?
No,
some, like,
it's
game?
it's a side game, but it's
Okay.
VR.
In-
John,
yeah,
can
in
you
the-
see the trailer?
in the
Can you
words-
put
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
trailer
right.
up on the screen, please?
yeah, I'm about to throw it up on screen. I just want to hit this real quick. Flapjack says, "What about 3?" Never mind. He also says Valve never fucking does something for free. Well, they're doing something for free now, and I think that's pretty cool.
Dude, they can do whatever they want for free. They make so much money off of Steam.
Yeah, let's have a look at this AMA here. You got some specific ones you want to look at?
No, I forgot to look at this before the podcast, so who knows what we'll find.
Fair enough. Let's look at this top one here because obviously this is the most popular, with 496 upvotes from Camille.
Yeah.
Camilo.
Kamari from
From
Final
Cancer.
Fantasy X. Thanks for opening the company for more direct communication with the community this past year. And Mr. Wolpaw, nice to have you back. Going on to the questions.
He was a Portal writer. Just saying.
Yes. Number 1, how much fidelity have been added to the engine to make the in-VR experience feel closer to real life than previously? I mean, things like texture resolution, material definition, soundscapes, and sound propagation and processing, etc. 2, how much has the revamped SDK tools helped streamline development? Have you made measurements comparing time taken to construct a level to a certain specs in Source versus Source 2?
Nerd!
Number 3, I'm actually interested in that one. Number
I know, that's
3,
because you're a video game nerd.
any
Not
thoughts?
like in the good way, like in the I make games kind of way.
Number 3, any thoughts on mobility and accessibility issues in the emerging VR space? How about the ease of entry plus learning curve into the VR scape for somebody with zero prior gaming experience? Number 4, how much variety can we expect from the filler NPCs in terms of modeling and voice lines? Are they reprising the settled role of citizen/rebel like an HL2, or can we expect more variety? Weapon selection from number 5, weapon selection from tested demos footage seems to rely on selection wheels, and an earlier answer hints that the game is basically complete. Any thoughts on implementing more realistic weapon selection system like Boneworks, which may come later as updates so needed? Number 6, game units fixed yet, or are we still disproportionately short? So from the Half-Life Alyx team responded, Dave here, the sound designer, a short and incomplete list of audio features we've added or improved for Half-Life Alyx. Soundscape system improved to be more fully integrated with the audio system as a whole. Our music system is new. Numerous Steam audio improvements, huge amount of work on the lower level audio systems, new tools for mixing and implementing sounds. From a sound design perspective, we've had to change how we think about sounds we make and implement. A lot of things are the same as making a traditional game. Good art and sound is good in VR as well, but there are new factors as well. A main one for me was figuring out ways of making environments sonically interesting for players who want to take their time and explore, which happens much more frequently in VR. Let me see if I can pull up the rest of the responses. It doesn't look like anybody else responded.
There's a lot of cool niche shit in this. I wish we had a lot more time.
Yes.
But like one of the questions down below, it was like he's asking about rendering arms in VR, and it says we don't. The answer was we don't render arms due to our experiences with playtesting. Briefly, we found playtesting. Briefly, we found that players themselves don't notice them missing. Spectators do, obviously, and most players don't like them obscuring their view. So it's a lot of shit like that that I think is really interesting about the new paradigm of VR. That really is interesting, especially you and I from like a game design's perspective.
Yeah. Reed, can you go ahead and drop this link in the chat for people? I want to hit this last question because this other question because this is really interesting. We might run a little bit over, but honestly, I'm gonna hit this last question.
Fuck it.
Then
I'll be late to work. Who cares?
We're gonna do the game releases, and then we will say goodbye to you, beautiful folks. This one's from Sterling FM. Number 1, how are barnacles a threat in VR? Do they pull the player upwards, or do they kill you instantly to avoid player discomfort? 2, will there be any callbacks to original Combine soldiers and the CP officer designs from Halo 2? 3, do creatures react to audio that the player creates, as seen in the trailer with the mysterious new creature that scurries away after hearing Alyx move a bucket? 4, is there limb dismemberment / body damage systems in the game, similar to the systems used in Left 4 Dead 2? And 5, for the smooth locomotion option, will it also support VR jumping? Thank you, I'm greatly looking forward to the game. So the team responds, yes, barnacles are a threat in VR. They don't kill you instantly, you'll deal with them in familiar ways, but the opportunities afforded by VR also give you new methods to use against them. We experimented with moving the player, but moving the player with their input in VR didn't work very well. As with many aspects of working on this game, we've had to find new ways to take well-worn mechanics and other Half-Life staples into the specific framework of VR. Similarly, Combine soldiers definitely return, both in the form you've previously seen them as, well as with new variations to keep the players busy and take advantage of VR. Some creatures respond to audio more than others. We don't want to spoil anything, but there's an example of this we're particularly excited about. As with audio, limb dismemberment is not a factor in most combat encounters, but there is a very notable exception. Because the game includes the ability to mantle in continuous motion, you don't often need to jump. For instance, if you need to get past an obstacle like a crate, you mantle up rather than jump up. The only time we've needed to jump is to traverse a short gap, which happens very rarely. We tried a few iterations of jumping, but ultimately found that even in continuous motion, players preferred dealing with those jumps with a teleport style movement. And yeah, that makes sense to me. I think that's pretty cool though.
Dude, I want to read this for like the next hour. Dude, this whole discussion is super interesting.
Oh, I know. But we are running short on time. No,
Am I running short? We are out.
No Pants Gomez. Yes, like I said, we're gonna go a bit over, but all we got left is to go over the releases. No Pants Gomez says VR jumping sounds badass. Dude, it is wild. Games that actually allow you to do it. It's so trippy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So releases. Reed, do you want to do the releases?
Oh, right.
Actually, Matt.
Releases.
Matt, do you want to do the releases?
Sure.
Hey, talk!
Oh.
No, it's fine. No. Don't acknowledge. Matt's. This is completely normal.
Why is everybody freaking out?
Nothing. All right, Matt. What were this week's releases?
I don't know. What are they?
They're on the list. You got him? You see him?
Did we lose him again?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Flapjack
Would
says
you like to read the releases, Matt?
Flapjack says he's done with his taxes.
Taxes. Nobody pays taxes.
This
right.
week's releases. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, did you?
No. Please, go ahead.
The Coma 2, Vicious Sisters, Journey to the Savage Planet, Kentucky Route Zero TV, Kentucky Route Zero Act 5, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, Warcraft 3 Reforged, Bookbound Brigade, Not for Broadcast, PUBG Season 6. It's now a real game. That's in reference to PUBG. Sisters, Royale, Terraforming Earth, Through the Darkest of Times, Hero Land, Hockey Manager, Journey to the Savage Planet.
Yes, that's all the games that are coming out next week. If you heard any of those, it sounded interesting to you, you guys should definitely check that out.
I know that Kentucky Route Zero sounds disturbing.
Does it? I don't know.
Just like most things in Kentucky.
I've never heard of this game before, so I'm not sure what that's even about.
Pretty sure it sounds like a horror game.
Could be. Let's. You know what? We're already running a little over time. Let's.
I need to pee, Jeremy. Can we just go?
I also need to pee. I've been holding it for like the last hour.
As part of being a pro podcaster, you just put on your adult diaper. Everybody that podcasts wears adult diapers.
It is not a horror game. It is a point-and-click adventure.
Nice.
All right. Last little bit of chats here. No Pants Gomez says hashtag release Matt's taxes. Flapjack says Warcraft 3. Fuck yeah. And Flapjack says Kentucky sounds like fried chicken. All right. I think that just about does it for us. We're gonna let our friends pee here. So thank you guys.
What happens in Oregon? You pee a lot more.
Thank you guys so much for watching the Not Important Gaming Podcast. You can find us here every Saturday night at 8:30 Central Time. That is 6:30 Pacific Time. You can also find us on Twitter at @GamingImportant. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/notimportantgaming. And say a big thank you to John for showing up tonight. It was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. This was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, super fun.
Feel free to come on anytime you want.
Anytime.
Other than that, I think we covered all our bases. Matt, Reed, John, you guys have anything you want to plug?
I want to plug the fucking videos that Flapjack123 has put on YouTube, the compilations that he made for us. They're super great. We are totally undeserving of the work you put into them. So,
absolutely.
And great editing. I absolutely love them.
They are hilarious. You guys should absolutely go and check them out at his YouTube channel, the Flapjack123.
Yeah.
Was he the one that did the compilation?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he is.
Okay, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I showed John that.
They're great. I just got him the VOD of our last episode, so he could start working on editing those.
Nice.
Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful night, my beautiful boys.
Thank you.
Bye.